While searching for new species to study for my drawings, I came across a bird I had never heard of before. I guess you have to be around South America because tinamous are birds native to Central and South America known for their unique evolutionary traits and ecological significance. These ground dwelling birds have approximately 47 different species. I chose a few of these species based on what interested me most. And despite their plain appearance compared to some of their avian relatives, tinamous were not a subject that was boring to illustrate. I think they offer a palette of subtle elegance. They may not flaunt bright feathers like tropical parrots, but their muted earth tones, ranging from grays and browns to buff and cinnamon, were a nice change for me since I have been painting some flowers with showy colors lately. And these colors offer a masterclass in natural camouflage for these birds. Their feathers often feature intricate patterns of speckles, streaks, and mottling mimicking the textures of leaves, bark, and soil. These details can inspire artists to create designs that emphasize subtly blending elements of realism and abstraction. But actually painting the illustrations took much more time than I thought because of these patterns on the feathers, and they were not something to be rushed. But these are mostly quick studies for me, and sometimes I don't really care about the finished quality and realism. As I always say, these are not scientific illustrations. I do these for inspiration and learning mostly. Tinamous have interesting evolutionary background. They are among the world's most primitive birds, closely related to the flightless birds like ostriches and kiwis. But unlike their flightless relatives, most tinamous retain the ability to fly, but they fly weakly and for short distances. This capability underscores their evolutionary adaptation to terrestrial habitats while maintaining some traits of ancestral birds, and they have compact bodies, short wings, and strong legs adapted for running through dense undergrowth. Their beaks are relatively short and suited for pecking at seeds, insects, and other small prey. These birds inhabit a wide variety of ecosystems from tropical rainforests and savannas to grasslands and high-altitude Andean regions. Their range extends from southern Mexico to Patagonia, making them one of the most widely distributed bird families in the Americas. Each species is typically adapted to specific habitats, ensuring minimal competition for resources within the family. Behavior-wise, tinamous are elusive and shy, often remaining hidden in vegetation to avoid predators. Their diet is omnivorous, consisting of fruits, seeds, small invertebrates, and occasionally foliage. They are primarily ground foragers, using their sharp eyesight and sense of smell to locate food. One of the most remarkable aspects of tinamous is their vocalization. They produce melodious and haunting calls, often used to establish territories and attract mates. These calls can travel great distances, making them an essential communication tool in dense habitats. And since they are shy animals, they can be found by their unique voice. Tinamous exhibit an unusual reproductive system characterized by role reversal in parenting. Females lay large clutches of eggs in nests prepared by males, who take on the responsibility of incubation and chick rearing. Their eggs are noteworthy for their glossy, vibrant shells, ranging in color from purple to deep green. Males are highly dedicated caregivers, often incubating eggs from multiple females in a single nest. This strategy allows females to produce more offspring while ensuring that the species' survival chances remain high. But still, many tinamous face threats due to habitat destruction, hunting, and predation by invasive species. While some species remain relatively common, others are considered vulnerable or endangered. Conservation efforts focus on habitat protection, sustainable hunting practices, and raising awareness about these unique birds. They're not really domesticated as livestock. There are some interesting stories about tinamous in mythology. These birds hold a significant place in the folklore of indigenous peoples across South and Central America, often linked to themes of survival and separation. In the forests of Brazil and Colombia, tribes believe jaguars mimic the great tinamous call to lure and hunt it. In Panamanian tradition, after the Great Flood, the great tinamou fled in fear of the rainbow's bright colors, retreating to the forest's darkest depths where it remains hidden. A Brazilian legend explains the separation of the once inseparable red-winged and undulated tinamous. After an argument, they chose different habitats, the plains and the deep forest, and their mutual calls, symbolizing regret and defiance, reflect their elusive nature. These stories highlight the tinamou's mystery and its connection to the wild, and I really like learning about these stories. I think they can be great inspiration for world building projects. And other than world building, tinamous can be inspiration for art, concept design. I already said I really like to work with their colors. In concept design, such muted tones could translate into designs for stealth-oriented characters or creatures, blending seamlessly into their environments or armor and clothing with natural patterns. But they also have unique eggs if we are talking about colors. These eggs, with the glossy and vibrant hues like turquoise, green, and even deep wine, are really inspirational for creating creative color palettes. The luminous eggshells might also inspire fantastical objects like gemstones, magical artifacts, or symbolic motifs representing life, fertility, or mysticism. And actually, people already use these eggs for decoration. Their evolutionary oddities can also be inspiration for creature and character design. Tinamous can fly poorly, a trait that hints at evolutionary compromises. This blend of groundedness and residual flight capabilities offer an imaginative framework for creating creatures or characters with similar dichotomies. For instance, tinamous could inspire grounded creatures with vestigial traits of flight, or characters torn between two identities, one rooted in the earth and another yearning for the skies. Their compact, sturdy bodies and strong legs might influence the anatomy of ground-dwelling creatures in a fantasy or sci-fi world, while their weak yet functional wings could inform designs for hybrid creatures or aerial beings in transition. Their preference for remaining hidden creates an aura of mystery, making them perfect symbols of elusive or secretive beings. Their surrounding habitats could inspire richly detailed ecosystems for world building. There can be environments where survival demands camouflage, resourcefulness, and adaptability. For example, in a fictional setting, tinamous could inhabit magical forests or sprawling savannas, serving as symbolic fauna within the ecosystem. Their haunting calls could be reimagined as eerie soundscapes or territorial warnings in a story's lore. A tinamou-inspired biome might feature large, shadowy undergrowth teeming with life yet cloaked in mystery, inviting exploration and danger. Their shy and reclusive nature can also inspire the creation of elusive beings, perhaps guardians of sacred spaces or harbingers of change. Tinamou's cryptic behavior could be woven into myths or stories as symbols of patience, perseverance, or the unseen forces of nature. With their ancient lineage and unassuming presence, they can serve as metaphors for resilience, evolution, and the balance between past and present. In world building, they could be reimagined as sacred animals representing survival through adaptation. Their vibrant eggs might become symbols of rebirth, hidden treasures, or divine gifts. I'm sure everyone can find different ways these animals can be a symbol of something or part of some kind of a lore. So, tinamous are great muses. Artists can draw from their earthly palettes and intricate patterns. Concept designers can explore their anatomical and ecological adaptations, and world builders can craft rich environments and stories influenced by their habits and habitats. By channeling the essence of these understated birds, creators can unlock fresh perspectives and crafts works that resonate with the quiet but profound beauty of the natural world. Again, I was happy to find out about these remarkable group of birds that bridge the gap between ancient and modern avian evolution. Their intriguing behaviors, ecological adaptability, and striking eggshells make them an interesting subject, and I hope to learn more about different animals and plants. So, see you in another species study.